Economics and politics are the foundation of human development.
While forming the world's earliest civilizations, Africans also laid the groundwork for the creation of economic systems.
By learning from our history, we gain the strength to empower the present and design the future. Presenting the premier forum for truth, culture, and change. HAPI Talks. Join us as we unlock the secrets to our success. Peace, family. Hey, Hassan.
Peace was good. I think we got a little echo going on.
Yeah. So listen, family, we're going to just go ahead and put this out right now. We have this echo thing going on, so you don't need to put in the comments that you hear an echo, because we were trying to figure it out and we couldn't figure it out. So we're going to try to do the best we can to keep moving forward. And we were joking. We were saying that every time when we got some good stuff to do, it's always some type of little like drama happening beside the scenes. So listen, people are going to be popping in, popping out. Just like right now, Hassan just popped out. I don't know where he went, but he'll come back. So listen, we are fresh out of the Hoppy and the Shy. I have my official right there, Hoppy and the Shy t-shirt on. We are so excited because some of the people that are going to be coming on the show tonight, these are like more than, these are really Hoppy supporters. We try to kind of mix it up. We have one of our speakers, Dr. Joseph Menlevy. He's dope. He's the elder, so he had to be part of this. We have Talita, who's been a long-time supporter, who traveled with us to Egypt. Doriel, another long-time supporter, traveled with us, to Kemet. We have Lucio. We know everybody wants to see Lucio, because Lucio will always be cutting up in the comments. So we got him in the house, and we have a newcomer. We have Tracy, and I love Tracy. Tracy rolled through on a bus. She took a bus to get to the Hoppy and Shy. That's what we talking about right there. And so before we get started, we bring them on. We just want to do regular housekeeping things. So family, we do have a few t-shirts left that we're going to put have online, and we have the official. We're gonna bring. Do you have your book in front of you, Hassan?
My book?
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay. Yeah. I got mine. We're gonna get our official book. That book turned out great. The official Hoppy and the Shy book. Like it was dope. So, look at that. See, look what Hassan got. I'm telling you, it's all glossy and nice. The picture's all clear, and everyone had a dope article in there explaining. Like, first there was their bio, and then their articles went into detail about healing through unity. The book is beautiful. I was like, damn, this book is beautiful. So we have a few of those that we're gonna sell along with the live stream, perhaps, and the t-shirt. So we're trying to work that out. It'll be worked out by this weekend. But the other piece is you need to make sure that you're connected, because we're going to be announcing some new stuff too in a little while. So family, make sure that you're connected. You want to go to happyfilm.com and hit the get connected button. And also while you're there, we have a clearance sale going on with all of our merchandise. We have a few little things hanging on, vintage items. So, that's always a good thing. And it was cool because, I don't know if you guys follow us, or you should be following us on social media. I had walked into the hotel and just minding my business, seeing this Black woman just sitting there. And I was like, oh, this is one of our people. She had the Happy Power and Unity t-shirt that we did 2 years ago. She had that on. So we immediately started chatting. Miss Pauline from Virginia. It was just a very, very nice event, family. So you can go to I should go ahead and put it up there. Clearance sale, go to happyfilm.com. Also, make sure you are subscribed to us. All right. You should be subscribed to us on YouTube. And we may come up on your feed, but make sure you hit the notifications button and the thumbs up, so that you're actually a subscribed member. So when we, break stuff out, you're the first person to know about it. And we're on all social media platforms. We're even on Twitter, X, Facebook, TikTok, and IG. And we're all at Happy Film, um, at Happy Film. Also, we want to make sure, and yeah, the reason why we need for you to be on YouTube because we're so close to 40K. Like, or maybe no, we're still close. We're not at 40K yet. We're like 39 and some change. So, family, make sure you are, subscribed to us. And last but not least, it's where it all started. The HAPI Film. It's on Amazon Prime, Quayle TV, and Tubi. And this is a documentary. It's 2 hours and 12 minutes. It has 30 scholars. In fact, part of the film, when we went to the Isaacs, that's like actually featured with Dr. Bruce Williams. And he's holding a replica of the Kistal incense burner. He's talking about it. So listen, this film is dope, and everybody should have seen it. It's not a film you can just look at one time. You got to look at it a couple times and really get what we're saying, because we're saying a lot of things in that film. It was shot over 5 different countries. A lot of it was self-financed. We did have some investors, but family, right there, go to Amazon Prime, Quayle TV, or Tubi to check it out.
Yeah, we might as well bring them on. Oh, you muted. All right, cool. So I'm actually there, but since the conference, there's been like a sense of accomplishment. Once we finished, it was because of all the work that we went through leading up to the conference. There was a sense of accomplishment, and we put our time and energy into this. So that was like we gave the people, we gave the guest speakers, the scholars, our energy. And, I think everyone, from what I'm hearing, everybody had a phenomenal time. Everyone learned a lot. The guest speakers were thrilled. So, I say let's bring the people on and see what they say.
I like that. Let's bring the people on. All right, we got Dr. Josephine Levy. We have Miss Talita Bryant. We have Tracy. We have Lucio. And Doriel's gonna pop back in. We have Doriel in the house as well. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
All right. So you know what? First, we gotta let the esteemed elder talk first. Dr. Levy. I think I think Dr. Levy loves being the older person in the house because he gets to go first with everything. He gets to do everything. We had to ask his permission to speak. And so
I don't
and I
even
don't
know how
mind.
to act. I don't even know how to act about that. You know what I mean? I don't, I'm usually one of the elders, but I'm not the elder, so I usually have to sit and wait my turn. But in this place, I was like, getting some props, man. I loved it personally. I really did, and I absolutely enjoyed the conference. Me, I'm not a social media person. I don't watch myself on YouTube. I got hacked on Facebook 3 times, and so I'm not on that anymore. And I'm not on TikTok or any of that. I'm not on any except maybe LinkedIn, and that's because when I was at the university, they put everybody on it, so I'm on that. But other than that, I'm really not on any kind of social media. So I was really pleased at the number of people who walked up to me and who knew who I was and greeted me and happy to see me. I mean, it was very humbling because a lot of the stuff that's out there on YouTube, I mean, some of that stuff goes back, I don't know, 15, 20 years that I did, or other lectures that I get. There's one lecture on there that I did of me when I was really young. I didn't have any gray hair on that one. I did that at Malcolm X way back in the late 80s, I think. And it actually, one of my former students found it and put it on YouTube and was like, hey, the first time I saw it, I was like, damn, who is that dude? I don't know who that is, but it's always nice and humbling. The lecture I did in Detroit, lot of the other things I did at conferences and stuff. Like I said, I don't really like to watch myself because I'm my greatest critic.
Mm.
But I will say that I felt that the conference really ran like clockwork. I
Mm.
mean, the way that uh, of course, Friday at the DuSable, Dr. Frazier spoke, and he was great. And we had a nice, turnout of people there, kind of enough to fill up all the chairs that they had down there. And then Saturday at Malcolm X, um, I think all the vendors made money, because everybody was selling stuff. The Once we got started, brother Osage, I forget who was supposed to be the moderator.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
So,
but he couldn't make it.
yeah, he got stuck in Alabama, Dr. Ken Harris.
Right, right, right.
He got stuck in Alabama and he was so mad. He was saying all type of little cuss words out on this little text we had because I mean, like listen, Dr. Ken Harris, before we had HAPI Inc., before it was actually an entity, okay, and we were doing stuff as HAPI and doing all these things, he literally wrote us a check and was like, here, this is how much I believe in you. Like that it just, that was it. So he was really upset that he could not, make it, to the evening. But I tell you that Jabari Ozazi, he didn't miss a
Uh-huh.
beat.
Oh yeah. He was like dynamic, and he kept the light on constantly, and the introductions and the in between stuff, and and it flowed marvelously. It really did. I mean, just everybody who was there, from the dancers to Queen Mother with her kind of Egyptian yoga. That was mind blowing because I do yoga, and I was like, yeah, that's on right there now. And
Mm.
and then of course, uh, brother Minister Nuri Muhammad,
Mm.
he was like, I think, don't hold me to this, but I think you're looking at the future leader of the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, he was no joke.
Right. And here's why I say that, because, right after that, he went to Dallas, went to Texas, and he performed my nephew's marriage, my one of my nieces in the Nation of Islam, and my nephew Kahari. I found out that Minister Muhammad did his wedding, and I understand that a lot of the young people in the nation are like, yeah. Because, see, I remember back in the day when Minister Khalid Muhammad was out there on the scene, you know what I mean? And he had a lot of promise. So hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that brother was dynamic. And he was another one. I saw him outside before he was coming in. I walked up to him like, I'm happy to meet this brother, and he was like, how you doing, Dr. Ben Levy? I'm like, you know me? He was like, sure. So that was one of those kind of moments too, that we met and greeted. And I tell you, one of my big ones was Robin Walker. When I ran to Robin Walker at the DuSable, because Robin Walker quotes me like 5 or 6 times in When We Ruled. And when I first bought the book,
All his books, in all
yeah,
his
yeah,
books.
yeah. And then in the latest one, right, he quotes me, right? And so I was just thanking him, how much I appreciated him uh, uh, thinking that much of my work, because that particular piece that he quotes, that got published in 1984, and it still got traction. So I'm very humbled by that, and the fact that we were meeting for the very first time was again one of those special things. So yeah, so all of that was like really good, and like I said, everybody, I mean, all the speakers were just it just flowed real smoothly. And then of course, Sunday, when we got over to the study, which, to be honest with you, I live in Chicago, and I never even knew that place existed until Juneteenth. My wife was with me. She had to use the bathroom, and there's another place called the Logan Center, which is a couple of blocks down where I park. And we came by that place, and the door was open, so we just walked in. And I was like, "What is this place?" So this is the lodge. This is a hotel, and those of you who live there, who were staying there, you already know that place is nice. And the venue we had back there where we had the luncheon, the food was excellent. The vibe was really nice, and uh, the speakers we had there, like I said, everything flowed good. To see Dr. Boyce and his wife there together, and the fact that she was like third generation University of Chicago graduate and stuff.
Okay.
Everything went well, and and I was glad that I was able to present on what I did on those text and the languages and stuff like that, to show some insights into, again, the significance of the understanding of the female nature of a deity, and the kingdom of heaven, and all of that is written in the Coptic text. It is really like a lot of them all over the so-called Gnostic text. But you really have to read Coptic to be able to like make it stand out for you. And of course, the showing the relationship between hieratic and Medunetra, which I think was important. So, and that was just a way of me saying, hey, this is kind of what I've been doing, because as I said early on, I believe never letting a day go by where I don't increase myself in knowledge. So, I've been studying those languages for a long time. Only one I haven't got yet is Demotic. And as I pointed out to everybody at the conference, all these things like hieratic, Coptic, Demotic, and all that, these are all scholarly terms for those things, and all of it is just Medunetra. They didn't have no particular definition of divisions or stuff back in the ancient world. It was just all Medunetra, that went through phases, because like all languages go through phases. Language is dynamic, it's not static. So I like that. I liked all the people, the brother who was here from Egypt, who presented, what's his name?
Rufus. He actually came to the Power and Unity conference in 2022.
Right. Well, let me
And
tell you a
so,
story about him.
yeah, he's
When I
cool.
met him, I thought he was like a Sheluk or a Dinka or a Nur from the Sudan, because he's tall like them, right? And
Mm.
he's got to kind of look
Oh,
like them.
yeah, I can't
So,
remember his name. Yeah, Rufus, I think
right. You
was.
know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
he did a really good talk too, and that he's over there now, and being a gold broker and stuff like that, and he decided to live in Egypt, and so
Dr. Kyles.
Dr. Kyle,
Okay.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so the
he
first
was
thing,
everybody.
right? So the first thing I said to him when I saw him was Maskagna Herkofi, which is Nubian for how you doing, and he like, what? I said, you look like you're from the Sudan. He said, no, man, I'm from Chicago, man. I'm happy to be here and stuff. And so one thing led to another. We got to talking, but we did get a chance. I was speaking to him a little bit of Arabic. Actually, he speak Arabic since he's living in Egypt, and he told me a little, but I think he speaks a little bit more than a little, because we were able to have a conversation. He understood everything I said. So it was that was like quite an experience. And my wife was like super thrilled. I'm gonna tell you. She got her book signed. Dr. Malvo signed a book. Dr. Frazier got, and she's got like first edition copies of all their books. Same thing with
Mm,
Robin Walker. So that was a big highlight for her. And
okay.
So overall, I can just say that I had a good time. One of my questions was, and Taki can tell me that, no, I know we were doing some remote stuff, and I didn't know how many people were remote, because sometimes you have more people remote than you do live in situations like that. But other than that, I thought it was absolutely great. I enjoyed
Yeah,
myself immensely.
yeah, thank you. The online community was they were popping. They were all they yeah, they were with us for all 9 hours and 45 minutes. That's how long the
Yeah,
live was.
yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. Thank you, Dr. Levy.
You're welcome.
Let me say something about brother Dr. Levy. So I appreciate his spirit and his energy because from the door, like even before the conference, when you're on the phone with him, like the conversation is like we knew each other already. Because I haven't met him prior to the conference. I haven't spoken to him over the phone. So the first time I spoke to him over the phone, it was like a brother that I've been speaking to, and then that continued even into the conference. So I just want to say I appreciate that brother, and he's willing to give you the knowledge, and he don't get tired giving it. That's for sure. He definitely don't get tired giving it. You know, I appreciated also the conversations with different people, not even having to do with the actual conference, but just with the attendees. And also the private conversations or the group conversations that were maybe in the lobby of the hotel or in front of the museums or in the lobby of Malcolm X, like those little 2 minute, 3 minute conversations. I had a conversation with Robin Walker for like maybe 3 minutes before I left because I had to catch a flight. And within that 3 minutes, he just laid down so much information. It's like, I don't know how he retains all this information, but I want to get him back on the show. Maybe next week I'm gonna give him a shout and really continue a conversation. I won't say what the conversation was because I want it to be a thing. Hopefully next week or the week after, but I want to continue this conversation because I think it's something that we all need to hear because it's it's a lot of talk on the internet about this particular topic, but that's another story. But I just wanted to shed that light on Dr. Ben Levy. So, and Dorielle, you know, Dorielle is like, she's like the go-to person for like anything. She is officially like, she is happy. She is happy. Dorielle, the way that she cared and looked after Queen of Four, she was on it. She
And Dr.
was
Melvo.
and Dr. Malvo, yes. She was on it. And, I appreciate that because not that all elders need that, but it's still good to have that. So Doriel, shed some light on what you thought about the conference, what was your takeaway, and yeah, just shed some light.
Okay, wait. Before we bring Miss Dorielle on, I got to tell the story about this is like some little behind the scenes. So it's Saturday, we're getting ready to start, and Baina Bello and her, she brought her friend, Miss Amira. Miss Amira, she's the ambassador for Sacred Woman. They were going to do the, what do you call it? The libations. They were gonna do the libations, So we're, get everything together. We realized that we did not have a plant. And I'm just looking around, I was like, oh my God, we gotta get this plant. And I'm like, I don't care what's gonna happen in life. We starting this bad boy at 11 o'clock. So we're looking around, but there's like it's a lot of moving parts. I see Dorielle. I said, Dorielle, listen, I don't care what you do. We just need some flowers. We need something. Dorielle, okay, I don't know where she found these little plastic flowers from. She came back. She had it was just like a bunch of plastic. I don't know if she took them from somebody's office. I don't know where she got them from. We're literally at Malcolm X Community College. We don't know nobody. We're just in the auditorium. And she came back with the plastic flowers. So she's like, what do you think? I said, I think those are going to be great. And Baina Bello is so cool. She can roll with the punches. She can do whatever she needs to do. Right. So we're like, listen, there you go. Because we had sent somebody out to get the plant. They took 1,200 hours. They came back. We were almost done talking about here's the plant. So there you go. We had those plastic flowers. And then consequently, another one of our happy people who's not on this call, Tiffany came through and she's like, y'all need some flowers? She went down outside of Malcolm X Community College, chopped down some flowers. And so at least they were real flowers. So now we had the fake ones, the real flowers, and we was like, let's go. And Baina Bello did her thing. But yes, Dorielle, please tell us about your experience.
Greetings, everyone. And I'll work through the feedback. So I was extremely blessed with my VIP experience. Let me say that first. Uh, very blessed and excited to be again with the HAPI movement. One of the hats that I wear is I'm an educator, and so whatever experience I engage myself with, I'm coming to that moment from a teacher space. I'm coming to that moment from the mindset that how am I going to take the dearth of this information, and this was a lot. It was a lot, and then translate it into something that young people can actually access. So all of the people that I spoke to, that I interacted with, yes, I was blessed and honored to be able to provide, let's say, the niece or the daughter experience or relationship to our two of our sister elders, Queen Afua, who I have a more than 30-year relationship with, as well as Dr. J, who literally, it was like having one mother on the one arm and one mother on the other arm. And it was, who could not be blessed to just be in that space. And if you know the moment, then you understand the moment. So I had to I'm from Brooklyn. Let me put that out there as a disclaimer. So I had to bring Brooklyn to the Malcolm X College. And that's how I got those flowers. When I said I was from New York, to the guys who were at the door, they're like, well, you don't sound like you're from Brooklyn. I'm like, wait a minute. If I sound like I'm from Brooklyn, am I going to get some flowers? Look, this is what we need. Like, we about to do this. And so the guys just sort of, I guess, took pity on me, but I had to bring Brooklyn out. And they brought me some flowers. But I was extremely blessed that all of these international, well-renowned experts, subject matter experts, were in one place. If I had a hat on, I would take my hat off to Taki, Felicia, Hassan, and all the other people who may not necessarily be mentioned, but who were in the mix, to be able to put on a conference with the live streaming as well, and just all the bells and whistles, literally all the bells and whistles and incense and, libation pouring and flowers, all of that. Just a coordination of where we needed to be, when we needed to be, to the places, the Isaac Museum, the DuSable Museum, Malcolm X College, the dinners, just being able to get people from one place to another was incredible. All of it, yes, and Brother Robin, of course, Baba Joseph Ben Levy, all of the people, Dr. Frazier, Dr. Boyce, and Dr. Alicia, Sister Baima, just all of those people in that place at one time was a powerhouse. I'm back like in almost like 7 days, and I still feel like I have to step back and process. A week later, I still feel like I went through an entire semester worth of information, classes, that if I was sitting, in a college class. So I'm blessed and honored, happy to be a part of the HAPI movement, but literally all of the lessons that I learned, I'm going to be translating to how I can teach this to young people. So they do not have to be another generation of saying, I wasn't taught this in class. I didn't learn this in school. You're going to learn it in 2026. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And I think you said a lot of important things in terms of the kids, and like bringing this information and sensitizing it for kids so that they can get this and understand just how rich their history is. And also, I got to add this part on to Dorielle. Anytime it seems like I just turn around and Dorielle's right there. She was doing our Instagram lives, 2 phones, like she was doing all types of stuff, and I just really, we really appreciate that, Dorielle. And I know we don't have enough time, like, we don't really like see you all the time. But when we do, it's like you're always, coming through. So that's what's up. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we're going to talk to Miss Talita. So let me tell you, in the beginning, when we're like, okay, we want to do, the whatever the something is, right? One thing that Baina Bello said on Sunday was so true. She's like, listen, any type of movement costs money. And I tell you, Miss Talita Bryant, we called her, and there was I want to say 5 donors, and I'm going to say their names publicly so everybody knows who they are, who straight up gave us dough so that we can even get started with the HAPI and the Shy, because you can't book a space with social consciousness. You can't get a speaker with social consciousness. You got to put down some green. So Talita, thank you. And thank you for I'm like texting her. I was like, can I say you as a donor? Because, Talita's like one of those people who works in the background, just get stuff done. So I really appreciate you. And I'm gonna give you a chance to speak, but I want to also thank John Henry Staples. Y'all know our man be coming through. He's always up on our chat. Dr. William Jones, he's traveled with us, and I think I'm trying to think if were any of you guys on a trip to Egypt. He did Ghana with us too. He was another one of our donors that gave some upfront money. And Yolanda Abdul-Salam, and she is actually Abdullah. She did Ghana with us this year, and she's also doing Morocco, Togo, Ghana, and Senegal with us this month. So we really appreciate you guys, because quite frankly, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't have been able to get started. So thank you.
So real quick, when it came to talking about doing this conference, I'm just gonna be honest. I have checked out of everything Black consciousness, church, and everything. I was just doing my own thing in my own little world. And so when y'all mentioned doing this conference, I'm gonna back up. It was my trip to Kemet that I found my tribe. I found some people that are not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk. And so I found my tribe. And so anytime HAPI is doing something and it's something I can do to help to push the narrative along, absolutely. And so you guys made a believer out of me. And as a matter of fact, when it first came, the topic came up, I was like, I don't want to hear another sermon. I don't want to hear another lecture. I don't want to have no parts. But here I am, all up in everywhere. And so it was, like I said, I have really found my tribe. I love you guys. I've gone to Kemet with you all. I've gone to Ghana with you all. The only reason why I'm not on this trip this year is I decided I was not going to travel internationally, but it was good to see all of y'all in person. And so it was something you all have been saying from the beginning. It's about unity, about us coming together. And so I got adopted by a couple people in Chicago. So I know I have to come back.
Yes. Shout out to Lisa. Yes. Miss Lisa, no joke.
Miss Linda.
Miss Linda. Yes, Miss Linda. She no joke.
Yes. And so when I went also at the museum, I think I said to Hassan, I said, y'all didn't advertise this right. I just thought I was going to see an incense burner. And so I was late, just disrespectful. But I get there and Infodisha is doing a whole tour of the whole museum, breaking down our history, showing how the establishment, lays things out to make it seem like, certain civilizations came before ours. And so he's going through and, just breaking all this stuff down. And so it felt like I was in Kemet all over again, but I'm here in the United States. And that's why I said, advertising that different, because there are people that can show up there and that may give them the encouragement or the want to go to actually see Kemet and understanding the connections and the history. And then the reason why I remember Dr. Kyles is because he was there just to see the incense burner and just so happened to be there the same time that we are there. And so what HAPI has done for me is it has shown me that there are voices all over, not just the United States, but all over the world. And we're saying the same thing. And it's our time for us to put forward the narrative and not let anyone else put forward a narrative. And I want to say this real quick. Dr. Ben Levy, you were one of the speakers I really wanted to go see, because I think I seen your YouTube videos back in the 80s where you were, showing the Blackness in the Bible. And so I'm from North Carolina. And so you got to believe in Jesus down here. So, but you were like one of the first people I heard talking about, Black people in the Bible, and it made me look at the Bible differently, and then everybody in the Bible differently. And then so I had to relearn my history and refocus and reconnect. So you were one of the people I really wanted to hear, your lecture. But the whole weekend from Friday, from the museum earlier in the day, the meet and greet later on that evening, listening to Bayana Bello and Dr. Frazier, the elders giving us wisdom and nuggets. And then the next day, the conference. I felt like I was in, like Doriel said, it was a summer school class because we learned so much. And then in between the meeting different people and the kindred spirits. And, I met friends that I'm going to have forever. Sunday evening, after everything was over, some ladies and we walked down to the Obama Museum and we had a ball, laughed, cried, talked, took pictures. And so we've connected now. It seems like friends for life. So, so anytime HAPI is doing something, and if there's something I can do, even if I can't be there, I want to be a part to make sure we continue to push forward the narrative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You said something key, Talita. Like when we meet up, and it's like you go in there not knowing nobody. And if you brought somebody, you might, that's the only person But within like 5 minutes, you're like family. We were getting in them Uber rides. We really had a good time. And I was telling Taki, is like, this is very reminiscent of like when we're in the hotel in Egypt, like everybody's trying to get their little stuff together to get out and stuff like that. And it was just really nice just seeing and touching, everyone and just hanging out in the hotel, after everything and just chilling. Like it was really nice.
And real quick, to be in the car with Bayana Bello, Robin Walker. Wait, Jabari. Yes, let me tell you something. That brother, listen, he held it down. And it was so funny when it was a topic that he was interested in. He knew he had to cut the time, but he still wanted to hear. So he was torn. Oh, but he did an awesome job. So everything was done in excellence. If you weren't there, you missed it. If they ever announce another conference, even if you don't want to travel outside of the United States, if they ever announce another conference, you even if you live streamed it, great, but it doesn't do it justice. Actually being there, rubbing shoulders, talking to people, that's where the unity is. And so to your point, it's unity in us coming together. It's the fellowship. And Chicago, y'all feel like home. Yeah. It felt like I was from the South. So I felt like I was at home in Chicago.
That's what's up. Yes. Thank you, Talita. Thank you. And and speaking on that level, I wanted, because you said like not knowing anybody, and so this, we were in the lobby, I think on Friday, and I was just looking at every Black person that came in. I was like, "You here for HAPI Nishai? You here for HAPI Nishai?" So then I came across little Miss Tracy. I tell you, Miss Tracy Dorn. She was there with her sister. And I was just amazed because they took a bus from New York to Chicago. And I was like, you dedicated. I remember at Power and Unity in Detroit, there was a woman who took a bus from California to Detroit. And I was like, damn, get it? And she didn't like flying. So she was like, yeah, I had to get here. I was like, wow, I was just amazed. So, so Tracy, give us your thoughts on everything.
I was in such amazement, and just to meet everyone that I had been seeing. I have been following HAPI for a couple of years, like when you all put on the show. And I was like, there was something inside of me that said, I got to get to this event. Because I missed the past events, and I know you all go to Africa, but to get there and meet Dr. Levy, Baino, and it was amazing just to know that we have everything that we need internationally and within the United States to build the communities that we want. We just lack the self-confidence to do it. But seeing those who are doing it and who are teaching it was phenomenal for me. It's been life-changing. Like Talita said, it changed I found my tribe. it's changed my world. Just riding in Ubers like with Dr. Frazier and him dropping knowledge left and right. And Sister Felicia, you were so friendly because we had just got it. You wanted us to go through the tour, and I said, no, I wanted to lay down and freshen up. It's like, go use my room, because our room wasn't ready, but just your kindness, it was so amazing. And I just feel like that I know that I can do it now. I know I can build the businesses that I need to, and I work with young moms, and I know it, like, our young people are searching for something. And I think I found what they're searching for at this conference. I really do.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Yeah, I was and that's one of the reasons, like when I saw you on Sunday and you were saying that you found your tribe, and I was like, yep, like that's what's up. Like
Yeah.
it's just, that's the feeling, and it's just it's just a whole family feeling,
Yeah.
But look, you're gonna come with us to Kemet when we go.
Yes.
There ain't no bus there, but you can, you ride, I'll sit next to you on the plane. But thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I want to also say shout out to everybody in the chat, because most of these cats that are in the chat was in Chicago with us. I see Miss Janice, she was in the house. Miss Serlinda. I'm trying to find this picture, because Serlinda and her team, that would be her 2 kids, and Hassan is her husband. They laid it down. If it wasn't for them, let me tell you, her daughter helped comb my hair out. I was like, I like this little family. They're gonna roll with us they're gonna keep rolling with us. JJ Life Mod, I got to see Rhea Sakmet, Rasar, and Rhea's mom in person. I was like, oh my God, like she's so cute. Yo, like that was really nice. I seen Cheryl Rogers, and Miss Rogers, I have some butterfly earrings I need to send to you. So yeah, shout out to the crew in the chat. That's what's up. So now Mr. Lucio. So let me tell you, Mr. Lucio, we got a lot of little stories about Lucio. But Lucio, one of the main things, we were just like, listen, we need to find somebody to take these flyers. He's like, I got you. And he really meant that. This cat has been all over Chicago dropping off these Happy and the Shy flyers. Like literally everywhere. If you are in Chicago and you have a flyer, most likely it came from Lucio. And there's, I think this is the piece about, people helping and contributing to a movement, and just being like, I just believe in what y'all doing, and really helping us. Like, and so we really, oh my God, we really appreciate Lucio. I might have got cussed out because I kind of came one day and didn't tell him I was there, and I took an Uber when he's like, you should have called me. So, I apologize. But he did take me out to a good veggie burger, him and Yoel. So shout out to that. So Lucio, tell us about your thoughts.
Well, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for us and continue to do for us. My thoughts, I echo everything that's been said. It was a feeling of family. I was in the presence of greatness, old and young. And Raya Sekmet is the fulfillment of everything that I've been fighting for our youth to take our story, advance it, tell it to others their age, so that there won't be another child growing up ignorant of how great we are because we don't know how great we were. I was honored to pick up Queen Afua from the airport, and one thing that really impressed me about that is that Goddess fell asleep in my car. She felt safe enough to fall asleep in my car. She's probably the only person that's ever done that. But it showed me that there was a bridge formed to actually be honored enough to do that and to take part in this, to feel like I made an impact. was I don't know, was a blessing that I don't know if I can even put in words. To meet the scholars that I met, even though I didn't get any autographs because my dummy self left my pen at home, and Robert Walker's pen was out of ink and Felicia was busy. I had the books for them to sign, but I got to meet them. I learned so much. As many times as I've gone to the Oriental Institute, to that museum, looked at that building and never knew that the story of the European stealing our knowledge was etched in stone on the outside of that building. I was floored. I was floored. And that's the kind of things that if you didn't come to the conference, you missed. You missed moments that would impact you for the rest of your life. Seeing Queen Afua doing the 42 glyphs, contorting her body at almost 80 years old with an agility that I can't match, and I don't think that there's children or teenagers that can match that. Showing how great we really are. Baina Bellows always brings power. I mean, it's just I don't know if there is a word really in English that would epitomize, I'm sorry, just how huge and impactful that conference was. Maybe Dr. Levy would know, seeing as how he speaks many languages and he speaks the oldest language. I didn't get a chance to talk to you as much as I wanted to, Dr. Levy, and I hope to carry that conversation on. Hassan, your family is wonderful, beautiful. That's the next generation of movers and shakers. And family, everything that we're telling you, everything that we're saying is genuine because there was no phoniness at that conference at all. And that's about all I can say. Hopefully, people will hear this and know that we have a task ahead of us. All of the things that we learned, the impetus that we felt, everything that we're supposed to take this forward and make it better for our children. Okay? Know that. This wasn't just a feel-good moment for us to learn. This was for us to take this information and move forward, put it into action. With that, I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Right. Can I say something? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. When I was at my class at the ISAC yesterday, I noticed when I went downstairs to the classroom that on the bulletin board was a HAPI flyer on the bulletin board downstairs at the ISAC. So I don't know if you was responsible for putting that down there, brother, but it was definitely down there. And believe me, to see that shows you where they're kind of moving, that they're opening up a little bit more. They know about us and they know about some of us and what we do, but to put that flyer down there, that says a lot. So I just wanted to just share that. I saw it down there yesterday morning.
Thank you.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
My man, John Jackson.
Wait, Fee, hold up.
Go ahead.
Felicia, one second. Because I want to say this because the title was Power.
Did you say my name?
Yeah,
Can
wait,
you hear me?
One question, Brother John. One second, all right?
I can't hear you.
1 second, I'll be with you in a minute. Felicia, let him know what I said.
Anything.
Felicia, let him know what I said because maybe he can't hear me.
Wait, can you hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Jackson?
Now I can
Okay.
hear you. Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. Give us one moment. Hassan was saying something, and then I'm gonna bring you in. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the conference, the title was Power and Unity, and I don't know whether people were intentional with showing unity, but it was being displayed. Like everywhere you went, some form of unity was being displayed. And Lucio is a prime example of that. because Felicia, I've heard you and Taki talk about him a zillion times, and you know what I'm saying, like in a positive manner of, you know, he's basically happy, right? So, but seeing that in real time was a different thing. And me and him, we didn't have any big conversations, anything like that. We didn't have a lot of interaction, but I will say that a, a certain part of unifying is being able to take off your ego, right? And saying, I'm gonna take off my ego,
What happened
and
to the sound?
and I'm gonna share what I need to share. So at a certain point, as a quick story, Lucio came to me, and first of all, he gave me good conversation on my family, right? He told me he loved my family, you know, he spoke about my son, and he just basically honored that, right? Which I thought was a good step in the right direction, you know, because I don't think a lot of men actually go out their way to do that, right? So that's number one. He did that. We'll talk about him splitting his pants later, because that's a whole nother story. Um, but he came to me and he said, you know, brother, and I may be paraphrasing. He was like, you know, I had some words about you to Taki, and I was telling the brother Taki, because he's known y'all, he's known y'all before I've known y'all, meaning Felicia and Taki. He's known y'all before me. So he said, you know, I saw an interview that you did, and I called Brother Taki, and I told him the brother Hassan didn't seem like he was prepared, right? And he was giving a critique about me. That's another thing, we have to accept critique in the black community, because sometimes we don't accept the critique when we know it's the truth. So he said he told Taki that, but he said once he's seen me, you know, he's seen me a little bit more often, and what solidified it was me moderating the panel discussion at the Malcolm X College. He said, you know, he was wrong. But I wouldn't say that he was wrong. I would say that he probably was right in that moment. Maybe I was a little unprepared for that specific conversation, you know, a few months back, that HAPI Talks. Maybe I was a little, for whatever reason, maybe I was a little unprepared. But it was good that he shared that with me, because first of all, he shared the critique, but then he also, you know, he shared that he might have been wrong on that. So I just want to say I appreciate that, Lucio, and that's something that we need to be more honest and take off our ego in the black community.
Thank you, brother, for saying that. I really appreciate you. And it was seeing as how Happy moves. I mean, to put together a conference of the size that you put together in 2 months is insane. So I understand that during that time that you were probably unprepared for that interview, but you handled it. And that's what this is all about. There's times, black people, when we have moments when we have to step up. And HAPI has stepped up every time. That's why I support them. That's why I promote you. And this movement ain't gonna stop, y'all. Just know that.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you guys both for saying that. And I think that that's one of the things that we talk about rolling with the punches, let me tell you, and everyone keeps talking about these Uber rides. So the day of, you know, we had transportation all set up. Nice little black company, gonna do our little transportation, our bus. We was set. The little invoice had a little different price on it. You know, price wasn't, you know, what is it? Yesterday's price wasn't today's price, whatever. Anyway, when we started looking at the price, we were like, oh, no, we can't do that. So we literally shifted gears. We were like, everybody's supposed to have a personal ride to the event now. And we were just scheduling Ubers. And let me tell you why I think that was like the dopest thing. At first I was like, oh my God, people gonna think we ain't had this together. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, this is actually doper to have to sit in the car with people that you either know or don't know, and ride someplace. And I think that's one of the pieces that, like, nobody was complaining. Nobody was like, it wasn't none of that. We were all just like straight up, like, this is what we're doing, and really working in unity. So, and this was like, this was, you think about like the people that were there, this is like, what is it? A concept proof, or was it proof concept? What's the term I'm looking for? But this, we were doing it. We did all forms of unity because everyone came from different places. We had different ages, different educational backgrounds. Like, it was all of it, but we all figured out a way to work together, which was really, really dope. And it was just so, I tell you, it's really nice. It's very heartwarming. And this is Hassan's family right there. Sir Linda, Bryson, and my girl Brooklyn. Let me tell you, they held it down. They were getting up early. They had we had to get t-shirts together, put tables. I mean, they did everything, and they was not complaining. I was like, what type of teenagers are these? I'm telling you, these new conscious teenagers right here. This is like in a Rhea Sekhmet land right here. They were great. So thank you, Hassan. Yeah. And your wife, oh my God, like, I want her as my wife. She was just getting it in before I could even anticipate anything. She was just like, listen, now I understand. Look, I don't care what y'all say about sister wives or whatever, but that right there, I was like, I could understand. All the other times I was like, I don't understand, this polygamy or whatever, but this right here, having her as a sister wife, yeah, she just made everything better. And she wasn't yelling. She wasn't yelling. She was just talking nice, but everything got done. That's what's up. Yeah, go ahead, Doriel.
Thank you so much. I definitely want to echo the Uber, which I thought it was planned like that. It was the intention of us rolling with the punches, because when we were like, all right, how are we getting from point A to point B? And you and Taki was just like, we're calling an Uber. And I was like, okay. And then I would just see a group of us just standing around, like, look, waiting for the Uber. And then you would say, hey, we got room for 4 more. And I'm like, 4 more who? I'm thinking it's the presenters who are going to go first. But it was like, no, whosoever will, just get on in. And we sitting in the Uber and, sitting close tight with the speakers and like, wait a minute. So even the time and space that we were together with them in the Ubers, it was our own VIP, our own VIP time and space. And it was precious. Everyone literally felt like they were at the family reunion. That's how I felt. So yes, as soon as we got there on the first day, I came a day earlier because I wanted to get settled in before we, did all the running and ripping and running. But by, within like 20 minutes or so of meeting the people, and then shout out to Dr. Fraser, who said, your goal is to meet 7 people and not just shake their hand or say, greet them, but to learn about them. It took the edge off, and it allowed people to sort of break down the barriers of, oh, I don't know who they are and where they're from and what they're going to bring. I literally felt like this is now my extended family, and people were genuinely and authentically interested in who's bringing, as somebody else would say on another program, like, who's bringing what brick, to build this building. Or let's say we would say to build this pyramid, like, we're going to build this pyramid together, but everybody needs to bring what they can come with, and we're going to build it as one. So power in unity was definitely exercised on every level, from walking together, riding together, going to the grocery store together, having tea, coffee, or what have you, and just sitting next to each other and learning from one another. Thank you.
Yes, and shout out to, and and the other piece is that, like, five people got stuck in Chicago because of the weather on Monday. So I think, because Talita, you left early, but Marcus, Miss Carolyn, Miss Carol, who rolls with, Waleed is her son, so they rolled together, but they got stuck. And Tika, like, you guys, they were just sitting up at the little airport, and I was like, oh man, so I was so happy when they were finally able to get out and everybody was, was home. But yeah, that was, yeah, I
Yeah,
like that.
because
Very different.
yeah, because before you all left, I was talking about how it's fortunate you came here in the conference. You had a beautiful weekend, and then next day, Monday, we had 5 tornadoes.
Dang.
Yeah,
Oh my
five
God.
tornadoes. Yeah, so it was. I just want to throw that out there.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad everyone got home safely. Like that was wow. And you know what? And also, let me see, John, Mr. Jackson, can you hear us?
Yes, I can now.
Oh, okay, beautiful. Okay, oh, yeah, no, you're here. Yeah, you can start sharing your
Okay.
thought.
I kind of messed up my intro I had. We were having the technical difficulties there. But I don't know if you guys remember, some of you might be too young to remember That's My Mama and Ted Lane. When he would come into the barber shop, he'd come in, he'd slide in, he'd say, I got it, I got it, I got it, and I'm going to tell it. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to tell it. When I got to Chicago, my flight got in at 5:25 in the morning, right? So by the time I got to the hotel, it was about 8 o'clock. And who should be sitting in the lobby but Robin Williams, and who I recognize from your show and other shows I've seen him on. And he sat with me for what, a couple of hours talking. And then Dr. Frazier came into the conversation. Then Jabari came into the conversation just there in the lobby. It was just an amazing time for me. And the thing I got to say is that because I'm new to the awakening, and I've seen a lot of videos where they used to where you guys had these kinds of conferences with, Dr. Ben, John Henry Clark, and so many others. And I said, man, I wish I could have been at those things. So of course, I couldn't miss the opportunity to be a part of the Hoppy and the Shy around all these scholars. And the time I spent in the car with Diana Bello, and man, she was spitting. I'm telling you, she was spitting. I mean, it was just amazing to sit under these folks and just have them pour. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Have them pour out generously. You know, uh, they were just so approachable. I mean, everybody I met, and then I'll tell you, Jabari toward the end said, to connect with at least 7 people. I connected it with 12. And I've been in contact with that 12 since we left. As a matter of fact, I have a group that I do on a couple of times a month. And actually, Perry Kyle showed up at this men's meeting. It's called the Sankofa Men's Collective. And this was something that I started when we left Africa. And so yeah, Perry Kyle showed up. Dennis Boatwright, I just saw a text from him just like 2 minutes ago, saying he just found out that Carter G. Woodson's is his great great grandfather. So it's an interesting side note. But yeah, it was just amazing for me. I mean, I just had such an amazing time. Just it's hard to put it into words, to be honest. It's just for me being new to the awakening. I just felt special the whole time I was there. Every time I talk with somebody, I talk with Lucio, I talk with uh, some of everybody. I didn't get the chance to talk as much to Infludici as I would have liked to, but just the conference was just so on point, on track, well done. The conferences, the panels discussions. Sister Poole, I don't remember what her first name is, but that was an amazing sister, boy. Okay, like I said, the whole thing was just phenomenal for me, and hopefully you guys should come to California and do that. Make it easy for me to get there. you know,
Well, Hoppy's always cooking up something.
yeah,
I
yeah.
will leave it there. And thank you, Mr. Jackson. And Mr. Jackson, he came with us to Ghana last year. And and I think it's all like part of it. The just being with people who are on the same like path as you, and you can bounce
Yeah.
things off, and everybody's just so dope to just sit down and just have a conversation with it. It's such a relaxed like atmosphere, which is also nice. And I also want to say, I gotta say shout out to our media partners, because just so that everybody knows that it is a lot of moving pieces. And we actually started, it was more than 2 months, Lucio. That's when we announced it to everybody, but we were cooking this up for a few months ahead of time. Trying to get things so that when we say, hey, we're ready, we can have something to have ready. But all of our media partners, so shout out to Michael Imhotep. And these are people who, like, they interviewed our guests almost every week. They were bringing on, we scheduled them, and they were bringing on guests. So at any week, once we said, hey, we're doing Happy and the Shy, every week we had at least 2 to 3 people being interviewed on different platforms. So Dr. Susan Tata, Lynn, and my man Vince from Cleveland, they were interviewing people. Carl Nelson interviewed Taki. Michael Imhotep. Let me see, who else am I missing? Queen Poe. Let me tell you, Queen Poe is no joke. And we're going to be working with her with some other stuff, but she interviewed Baina Bello and Queen of Four.
Azar Imhotep.
Huh?
Azar Imhotep.
Yes. 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 So we just think, just shout out to everybody who, was interviewing our people and getting everybody through. And, and shout out to all the speakers, because listen, I was sending emails like, okay, look, you got these 5 interviews and this, and that. And so just being able to keep up with that and to get all your materials in. Hassan, let's show the book again. I'm going to get my book. But we got to get the book, because this is the thing. Like there's like scholars. Now, of course, listen, we had 16 people we were trying to deal with, and some people were, quicker in getting their stuff in. And I had to actually call Dr. Levy and say, thank you for turning all your stuff in on time. Like he's a pure scholar. Like he write abstracts. I was like, okay, like I tell you, like this, he did a very yeah, like we really appreciate you. Okay, wait, let me so Hassan can see this book. And and shout out to Mr. Jackson, because also you can you show the book, Hassan, and the advertisers. So a lot of people also took out ads, and those ads look good. Like the whole book itself looks good. But yeah, John Jackson took out an ad in our yeah. And then also let's talk about for a second Mr. Robin Walker. Let me tell you how he presents on, like, we've seen him in a lot of different videos and stuff like that. Man, he is a down to earth cool dude. Like he was just rolling, like just so easy going, and just I was really excited, and probably most nervous to meet him, but he was really, really cool. Yeah, look at that book. That book looked good.
Robert Walker, he put me in the calendar. He's going to show up and visit us from the Sankofa Men's Collective in October. October, yeah. So he sat me down, put me on his calendar. I'll be there.
Okay. Yeah. And and that's cool that and this is, and what Mr. Jackson does is really, like, it's so happy, because he came on a trip, and the next thing I know, he has a whole collective of people who he met on the trip, and they get together every week. I was talking to, like, I think that's so dope.
I could say I went to one of those meetings. I missed it yesterday. I was doing some things, but I went, and it was a breath of fresh air. I could say that, a group of men meeting, talking about how we can move further and what are the things that we need to do, and also personalizing it to yourself and talking about yourself and talking about your journey. It's actually a form of therapy. It's a form of therapy that he got going on over there. So if you can get down with that, I would say get down with that. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Lucio mentioned something about action, right? And this conference is, as much as it might have been entertaining, we need to take that entertainment, harvest it, and put it into action. And um, Brother John Jackson has done that. So what I want to ask each and every one of y'all, if you want to share, you don't have to share, but is there something that you're going to move forward and put into action, whether it's something new or whether you're going to revisit something that you might have, put off to the side, put on the back burner, in the past, but you feel that you want to start getting back into that and put into action. Whoever can speak first, if you want to share.
Yeah, I can go. Um, the two things I got really encouraged on, Sister Dorel, you know where I'm going with this, right? Is I have now my dissertation is like 400 pages. I probably got 3 books in there, and I have other things that I've written, monographs going back into the 80s. My master's thesis is on ancient Kemet, and that's from 78. And I have 4 other things like that, dealing with different topics that I've been really trying to get published all these years. And so I as a part of my contacts, I ran into 2 folks who are going to talk with me about how I can go about getting some of that done, or at least get that on the road, so I'm in the process of really looking at it. And then there's what is her name? Tati, the attorney. Her name was
Talita, right there. She's
Tawita.
right below you. Yeah, on the
Tawita.
screen.
Yeah, Tawita. Yeah. We're going to be hooking up because we want to talk about. You were talking to me about the publishing thing, right? So both of them, I'm definitely going to be reaching out to and establish some relationships with to see how to do this. Because, like I told them, I mean, I see people getting published all the time, and sometimes I be seeing stuff published. I'm like, how the hell did they get that crap out there? And I think I got something to say for real. And to make that happen, to really make that happen. So I'm looking forward to chopping it up with them and getting that thing on the road. That's one of my projects. I think that's important to HAPI, and I appreciate being at the conference because that gave me the opportunity to find someone without even looking who could put me in that direction, especially at this point in time in my life. That's one of the things I want to try to get accomplished before my time is up, whenever that might be. And I figure I got at least another 20, 30 years, and I want to at least make that happen and get my stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dr. Levy, so this is one of the things I love. So Talita Bryant, she's traveled with us. She's like a core monetarily supporter of HAPI, but she also writes an article in our newsletter that goes out every month where she's trying to get people to get your business together but helping you like work through the process of doing that. Like she's really about it. And I think that's what like everybody on here, we've seen them like be about it. They're not just like, oh, talking about it. Like they're literally doing things, in the spirit of helping our people in that HAPI movement spirit. So yeah, I'm really happy. That's good. Yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Levy, we got to get you activated.
Yeah, definitely.
And we got to get you camera ready because you do well on the camera. Yeah, just gotta get
I'm kind of used to this.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
kind of used to it. I'm still a little shy about it though, but it's like when I learned a long time ago that when you go out to speak, you're the one with the mic in your hand. You can shout anybody down.
Yeah.
So
I find that very hard to believe. I mean, you don't look shy anytime. You didn't look
Oh,
shy on
please.
Sunday or the times you've been on HAPI Talks. Like, I
Jeez.
don't see
I'm
you. Are
nervous
y'all
ever
seeing
since. I'm nervous
shy?
now. I'm nervous now.
Y'all seeing shy with Dr. Levy?
Yeah. Yeah, but once you
Exactly.
get me on, look here. Once you get me on, I'm gonna be on. You know, you put that
Okay.
quarter in my slot. That's it. I'm on.
All right, all right, all right. There you go. We're gonna one of Robin Walker's words. Can you feel that? Like, yeah, he ate it up with that with his. Oh my God, put some respect on it. Yes, Doriel.
Hey, greetings, everyone. So again, I'm an educator, and prior to coming to the conference, which literally felt like a last minute decision, I was trying to figure out how I was going to incorporate African history, the African diaspora, Kemet, and like the principles of Ma'at and the principles of that are written in glyphs on the walls. And so this conference allowed or reminded me that which I asked for literally was sitting in the room with the 12 to 14 people. So each speaker, I came home and I was processing. How am I going to translate these terms, these images, these concepts, these paradigms, these frameworks into something that young children, and when I mean young children, I mean young children can actually parse through. So I'm excited to connect with Brother Jabari. I'm excited to connect with Dr. Ben Levy on how to take, again, some of these words, these images, so that we imprint. And when I say imprint, I mean imprint our next generation with more true information, and the some say 1619, but others say 15 something, when the us appeared, however you count that,
Yeah,
that young,
1526.
thank you, 1526, thank you, Baba, to show young people how the principles that we live today, whether it be civically minded or historically referenced, how literally it began with the HAPI, how it began with the incense burner and all those other artifacts and concepts that we discussed and were taught about during this week. So if you know anybody in the New York City public school system or in public school systems in general, just tell them to contact HAPI and get some of the people that we met to come and help us out, because that's what educators need. That's what teachers do.
Yeah. No, actually, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that, Doriel. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, Lucio, unmute yourself.
Okay. Dr. Levy,
Yes, sir.
and how you are the elder. I want everybody to know something before I go forward. This man has put more work in than I even knew, and I'm from Chicago. After it was announced that you were going to be part of the conference, I started looking up your background and everything, and I'm very rarely at a loss of words, but I was dumbfounded, really. How you put 4 lifetimes of work into 1 lifetime is amazing. And I thank you for everything you've done for us. What I'm doing, what I took from the conference, I'm doing the same thing that I've been doing. I try to interact with the young males, specifically here in Chicago. John, I'm sorry I wasn't at the Sankofa meeting yesterday, but I was actually trying to get some young Black males in that meeting, males that have anger issues. Part of the topic that didn't come off in the conference was healing. Family, we've had over 400 years of trauma impacted us here in America, not to mention but almost 2,000 years of mind wipe that happened before we were enslaved. That's a lot of healing that needs to be done. And we need to have grace and give our blessings to our people that, yeah, we made mistakes. We're going to make more mistakes, but we keep trying. We keep healing, and that's part of it. So that's what I do, along with trying to get Felicia to read my book, which I thought she would read by now. But you can't chime in now, sister. I'm not gonna let you. But yes, the biggest thing that I really want to tell everybody that's watching this, it doesn't make a difference if you've studied this stuff for 30 years, 40 years, or 1 year. Spread our story to every Black face that you see. The reason why the awakening is happening now is because of people like us having these conversations in places that people don't expect, on the internet. The reason you see my name in chat is because I realized if I'd have had this information when I was, let's say, 14, I could have met Dr. Jacob Carruthers. I could have been studying in Kemet. I could have been the Anthony Browder. Who knows? But the reason I didn't get to the place where I'm at years ago is because I never heard this information. So share it. Don't be afraid to be overbearing. Tell your mothers, your brothers, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. Tell people on the elevator, I don't care where you are. Talk about it. That's why they've mind wiped us for actually about 4,000 years, so that we wouldn't talk about it. So that's all I can say. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay, real quick for me, before the conference, I just think it's divine timing. I was really active when I was a teenager, and some stuff happened. I stepped back because I'm not the type of person that deals with the political scene here with people that look like us. Is interesting. I'm just saying like that. And I'm the type of person, you do what you say. You say, if you're gonna say it, you do it. And don't, sugarcoat anything, just move forward. And so I was involved into a lot of movements. And then when I get in those back rooms, what you're saying out front and what you say in the back ain't lining up. So I just fell back. But when you all announced this conference, I was actually invited to a forum about a movement I was involved in when I was a teenager. And so what this did is this led me back into that frame of mind again. I think, like I said, I think it's divine timing. And like Wolfman Lou says, it's our time now. It's our time. We set the narrative. We set the stage. We don't need anybody else to tell our story. We have enough elders, and we need to get their work out there, their scholarly work out there, so that people can see it and engage in it. I'm involved in a school that was started over 60 years ago. It's a preschool. All my grandsons are going through the school. My daughter went through the school. These schools, their main mission is to teach Black history. And so my oldest grandson, when he finished, he's 5 or 6, and he said to me one night, he said, Mimi, I don't understand why Black people don't like white people. Now, he just left a preschool that taught Black history. 1 year out, the question is, why do Black people not like white people? And I said, I got to explain to you why. And so sitting in the car with Robin Walker, now I have to make sure that my grandsons who are out of this school get re-engaged into our history, into our narrative. And so this conference, actually solidified the need to continue for us to push forward our narrative. Back in the day, you didn't hear a lot of people talking about it. Now, with the internet, with AI, we can push forward our narrative. And so as far as making sure we educate our children, Asa Hilliard said it. We're the only people who allow the oppressor to teach our children. And so while we may not go in and make a whole new school system, but we have the resources, we have the knowledge, we have the scholarship to where we can teach our own children at home, even if they go to public school. So to meet you, Dr. Ben Levy, your work has to get out there. If you are one of 10 people who can break down the different languages, that work needs to be out here, for the next generation. And so you need to teach it and teach us so that we have more people, carrying forward your scholarship. Because I know it took you some time, some years, some blood, some sweat, some tears. And so we have to put it forward, so it's up to us. We cannot wait for the oppressor to do it. It's up to us.
I have an interesting presentation about 5-6 years ago. The DuSable Museum had a program called Making History Come Alive, and they selected 3 schools to have teachers teach the young people, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, some aspect of our history, whether it was United States or continental. And so I got selected for one of these schools to teach a school called Johnny Coleman Academy. Johnny Coleman was a famous kind of interesting Black minister here. She has her own huge church, and she has a school named after her. And so I got selected to do Johnny Coleman Academy. So we had 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and what we did was ancient Kush. And so I taught them Medu Neter, Meroitic, and about the history and the culture of ancient Kush. And the museum gave us $1,000 for supplies. So I used those supplies to buy paints, paper, pencils, those type things to make crowns and stuff like that. But most importantly, I started teaching them Medu Neter, and I've taught children Medu Neter over the years before. And usually the young people pick up the basic uniliterals in 2 days. The whole program was 6 weeks. And in that 6 weeks, they were 6 different groups. I had the groups divided up into 6 different things. So we had one group that was Medu Neter. This particular group of young people, they could do Medu Neter like nothing. So I had them focus on actually translating actual text. I had another group. Their thing was just focused on the culture of ancient Kush. So I went and got actual Egyptian cotton. And they actually made the garments from ancient Kush. One of the girls, she could sew, so they laid out the cloth and had one of the young people lay on it, and they outlined her and did all of the hookup and everything. It was very nice. They used those tight wires and stuff to make the crowns and everything. And I taught them ancient Meroitic, how to write it, and I would do a little game with them. For example, I would put somebody's name on the board, and they'd have to figure out whose name that was in Meroitic. And it was like a little game, and the table that got the most of the names right, I gave them a little award. I had these when you go to Kemet, they have those what they call the little things you put in the books to hold a page, and they have hieroglyphs on them.
A bookmark.
So the bookmarkers, right? I would give each table the winners and stuff like that. And then I had these 2 girls, young girls. Well, let me say this: we also got clay from Egypt, and I took them to the ISAC when it was still the Oriental Institute, to the Nubia exhibit to show them all of the pottery that we had been looking at. And I told them they could make the pottery. I wanted the pottery to be exactly like the pottery there. The only difference is they could paint it any way they wanted to. And I mean, I saw some of the most creative painting I had ever seen in my life. And they would design them on the outside with Medu Neter or with Meroitic. And they have that black rim pottery. I had a couple of girls who actually tried to reproduce the black rim pottery with the black rim with the gray around the middle, the ash gray around the middle, and then the red sand bottoms. And then I had 2 young ladies. I can't remember their names right now, but they said they didn't want to do the garments, and they didn't want to do the pottery. They like to draw. So I picked that image of the 4 princesses that comes out of the tomb of Hui, there's a whole scene of it. They're the 4 princes. They're black and they're brown. They got the earrings, sandals, the whole shooting match. And so I got that and I put it up on the wall and got them some paper, big drawing paper, along with markers. And so I told them, I want y'all to reproduce this. And I gridded it out for them and everything. I showed them how they used to grid stuff out on the walls. And these young ladies, every day when they left the class, I would look at what they were doing and I was like utterly amazed. I wanted to keep this for myself. That's how good it was. They literally reproduced the whole thing. Yeah, like right down to the watermark. So make a long story short, I have that, one of the Comedic Institute members came in and videotaped the whole class when they were doing all of that. And it's really, really good. But I couldn't put that up on the internet because, these are young people, these are kids. All right. And I'd have to have permissions from their parents. So I never did. But I will share that with you all. So you can see that. So you can see that, get an idea of what it was that I did with these young people, because some of my proudest work. Now, to wrap that up, the DuSable decided that my particular project was by far the best of the 3. And they got buses, invited the whole school to the DuSable, had lunch for them and everything. And the young people got a chance to present to the board and to their parents the work that they had done. And it was one of my really proud moments, to see them do that. And one of the other things I did was my very good and longtime friend, Dr. Riketti Amen. She's written books that deal with the language and the vocabulary. And I used to use those vocabulary in my classes for them to, like be quiet, wait, stop, do this, do that. And because I think she's been my friend for such a very, very long time. I have a whole story I told about how I first met her so over some 50 years ago, and that worked. So that's something I can share to give you an idea, Doril, of exactly what I did that really, really worked. And I have to admit that I went into it just with the idea of what I was going to do, and I just let it, like just be organic and flow every day until I actually, was like, okay, this is curriculum for the day. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and we're going to follow up with this and that and the other. And so, and that's something I can give. I think that you'll really appreciate that I've done. And I haven't really done it since because I don't do much of that anymore. But it will be. I like to think of it as a model for what we can do with our children. And the
What
fact
age
that
group was that? What age
they were 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. In fact, they invited me as their graduation speaker at the end of the year to be the graduation speaker at their graduation, which they planned all themselves, no adults involved. They did it all themselves. Yeah, it was very, very fascinating. So I guess right now they're probably all out of high school and maybe in college, but I also created binders for them with all that stuff. And I still have a couple of the binders and stuff like that they did. It was really good. It was really good. They were really special group of young people.
Yeah. So we have Crystal Gunn, who was able to join us. I know, Talita. I know this is, oh my God, like these 2 women are just delicious.
Hey, cousin Crystal.
Hey, fam. How y'all doing?
Where's Miss Augusta?
No, yeah, exactly. We're Crystal Gunn Mama. Let me tell you.
Where's
Crystal
Mama?
Gunn,
Mama
Crystal
is at
Gunn
home, and I
came.
will tell her that you all asked about her.
No, you better go get her.
Yeah, she brought her mama. Her mama is so sweet. Oh my God, these two women. So we're just like, yeah, share with us your thoughts about coming into the Happy family, because you've hit the ground running, and let me give you your flowers too. You're just like Dr. Ben Levy with, we send an email, you send your stuff in, prompt, ready to go. We don't have to change no spelling errors. Like you were on it. So let me just say thank you for that. But share with us your feelings about the conference.
You know what? Words really cannot even express. Y'all, first of all, and Felicia, I sent you a voice note, right? But you, Taki, Hassan, super, super dope. What you all put together is by far. Listen, I have been to conferences after conference after conference, and none of them compared to what you all put together. Like it was absolutely amazing. And the knowledge in the room, like, where do you go to find all of that in one space? And we had it there. And one of the things my mother kept asking me, she was like, well, how long have you known such and such? And how long have you known this person? And I was like, I just met them 5 minutes ago. Because everybody was so cool. And she just kept saying it. She was like, everybody was so nice. It's like everybody's known each other, everybody's family. But I think that really is a testament to the three of you and what you all have put together here, because it starts, if you will, from the top, and it's the culture that you bring. And it just resonated.
Yeah, I was so happy to see you. It was, yeah, and you're right. That I didn't think about that way, because we're just is so how just we are every time we go someplace. I keep telling people, when y'all travel with us, we have the day, we have a couple Zooms or whatever, but when we get to the airport, it's like everybody's there. You haven't really seen anybody other just on Zoom. So you're like, hey, by the time we get on the plane, okay, that time from being outside checking in to the time we're on the plane, everyone's like, we'll cut you. You mess with our family. Like that's just how it is. And that's how it felt. Like it was so good, because we just met online, and so there's, and you listen, it's the same about you, and Talita was saying this too. It's like the front room needs to match the back room, right? And so like who you are the first time I spoke with you is a person, you shown up the same way all the time. And so when you rolled into the Shy with your mama, I was like, this is the same girl who does the liberation tools, for wealth on Tuesday. You're the same person. And I think, and everyone can feel that. Like that, I think that's one of the beauties about just being in the same space with each other. Like, yeah, like this is so nice.
Yeah, definitely. Talita, I want to hear from you. Do you have something that you're going to put in action, or maybe go back to something, pick something back up?
Yeah. So I'm being reconnected with some groups, a couple nonprofits that I helped put together years ago. Now I'm showing up at the meetings again. Yeah, I'm trying to listen. I will go ghost in a minute. If what you're saying and what we're doing don't line up, I don't have time. And so it's making me show up. And yeah, like, here's the thing. If I'm gonna get involved, we're doing it. Whatever we say we're doing, we're doing it. And so I would get so frustrated to where I just back up and be done with everybody and everything. So it has, y'all are pulling me out of this little comfort zone that I put myself in. Miss Linda, I think her last name is Oglesby. She would not let me get in a corner. Nope, we sit up here. You sit right here. And she would just pull me. And so I'm an introvert. Like I said, I do a lot of stuff in the background. But being around you guys, I can't do that because there's people that will pull me out of that. And their last day, it was me, Miss Carol, Tika, Trisha I just met, and Yolanda. Listen, we were just walking, picking up people as we went. Next thing you know, we're at the Obama Museum. And so, we all had our little stories where we were in our little bubbles, and we made a pact that we would make sure that we wouldn't do that we would make sure that we know that we're doing life together, and none of us are in the same state. Yeah. So what it has done for me, like, so I'm a strategist person. You tell me you got an idea, we're gonna make this business. That's what I've always done that. But a lot of times I will revert to myself and stay in my head a lot. And so y'all are making me meet people, and who's pulling me out of that, who's pulling me out of my little comfort bubble. so that's it. So I'm an action person. If you come to me with an idea, a business, I'm going to be on you, make it happen. My problem is my social life. I don't do a lot of social things. And so the conference, meeting people, is pulling me out of that comfort zone. And then too, with every trip that I've gone on with you guys, I've come by myself and I've met somebody along the way. Same thing with Chicago. I came by myself. I met somebody along the way. So it's causing me to be more community-based oriented again.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that is that we don't never tell nobody nothing. You know how like we ain't trying to meet like okay, go talk to her. She came by herself. We never say anything like that. Everyone that comes just automatically takes the person next to them, and now you part of us, which is I think is so beautiful. The first time I witnessed that, I think it was on a HAPI trip. I was like, what is this? Like, like what is that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been, oh my God, it's been so nice. So we've been partying on the Nile, and I just think if you guys listen, all you have to do is go to our social media, go to our Instagram page. You can see Miss Brooklyn Doriel shaking her leg going down the the Soul Train line. You see all of us is shaking our leg and going down the Soul Train line. We really have a good time. So as much as we're learning, we're also just hanging out with each other and getting to know each other and doing business with each other. I think that's most important. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, John Jackson, you want to share? Can you hear me?
Can I say something?
Yeah, do your thing, bro.
Oh,
Go ahead. Felicia, I don't think he can hear me.
oh, I can't hear you guys again.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say, for me, it was so amazing to get so much encouragement from all these people that I met. Because like I say, I'm a newly awakened, and so I'm 72. I didn't have my awakening until 65, and so when I shared that with people, the encouragement that I got from them was just so heartening. It just really lifted my spirits to let me know, hey, so what? 65 years of walking in darkness, you made it out, and it just felt good to have that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Support, just emotional support that like actually sat with, she wasn't on the program, but Dr. Linda Oglesby. Just so happened that I sat with her for about 45 minutes. And that's all she did was just encourage me. And it was just amazing people there, man. Black people. Hey, I learned a new greeting. I am blacknificent. I don't know who told me that, but
Infadishi. That's Infadishi's word.
is that, yeah, I'm using that now. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, that Miss Linda, she was getting around. I picked her up in front of the Isaac, just chatting with her with her little gray nail polish, and then after that, she was like, "Listen, that," and it was igniting something. I mean, she's from the old school. She's from like Dr. Levy's, time period, and she was just like, this is sparking something in her, which I could really appreciate, and I loved that she was able to articulate and let us know. It's always great to know, when an elder is proud of you and like supporting what you're doing. It's so much like we really need each other. Older people need the younger people to get their stuff out, and with the new whatever technology is out there, and older people and younger people need older people for self-confidence, for self-identity. Like there's so much that we need each other for, and so it's beautiful when we're just in a space where that can happen naturally.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to chime in about Crystal's mother. Well, first of all, let me say Crystal, because Felicia, remember when we first had Crystal on the show? We was calling her Miss Gunn, right? Not after that conference. It's just Crystal
Yep,
because
Crystal and Crystal
because
Gun Mama.
yeah. It's just that vibe. And then her mom's is like super dope. You know what she kept doing? She kept like a mother. She kept grabbing my hand, pulling her close to me, talking to me, making sure you get everything I'm hearing. So I definitely appreciate you bringing your mother with you. That was super dope. That was super dope.
She had the best time. She has not stopped talking about it. She is happy family forever. She just loves each and every one of you. She had the best time, and I appreciate the love that you all showed her.
Well, it definitely was our pleasure. It definitely was our pleasure. It's by hearing y'all talk and sharing your experiences, it's just it's letting us know at Happy that we're doing the right thing, right? And one of the ways that we can one of the reasons why we're able to do the right thing is because of the attendees that are coming to these conferences, that are coming to our conferences, that are coming on our trips. You all are doing the right thing as well. So, I think you should applaud yourself as much as you're applauding us and patting us on the back. You need to pat yourselves on the back as well.
Yeah, because we need each other. We can't have a conference if don't nobody come. So, like, we really appreciate us. This is Miss Linda. Yeah, little Miss Linda was getting it in. Yeah.
Yeah, did she tell you where we know each other from?
No.
She
Yeah,
said you taught her. She
yes. She's one of my students.
Wow.
Yep,
That's wild.
yes, she was. I mean, I have cases where I was just helping out a former student of mine too. She was the second generation. I taught three generations of her family. I taught her mother, her, and her daughter.
wow.
Yeah, yeah, all at the university, all in college. Yeah.
She's my new
Can I say
auntie.
just my one regret? Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Yep, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, so Felicia, because I asked you first. My one regret is that I didn't do what I asked you about, taking a picture. I wanted to gather all the queens in the house and take a picture with me, just surrounded by all that feminine energy, but I chickened out at the last
And
minute.
that's listen. I was like, there's no other place. Like in Hoppy, you could do that. Now you might go on the street someplace, and women might be like, "Oh, what you
Yeah,
doing?" Whatever. But in Hoppy, we understand because we understand balance.
yeah,
So we understand the need for feminine energy and the need for masculine energy. Like this is like this is like
yeah,
our wheelhouse. Yeah.
yeah. That was my one regret.
Well,
You
listen,
know, my
family. Go ahead.
my regret was that we didn't take all of y'all to the lake and let you see
Yeah,
what Chicago sits on.
yeah, the skyline.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
skyline. Just to see, like Dr. Levy said, Chicago's got its own ocean.
yeah.
The whole length of the city, there's lake. You
Mhm.
know,
And
and
beaches,
our
lake,
people were
beaches,
here.
parks. Yeah,
Our people were here thousands of years ago, family. Our people were here on these shores of Chicago before DuSable founded the city. That's what our story means to us, to claim that greatness. All right, we we it's mind-boggling that there were that many people on that stage with that amount of knowledge. And if I were to go out in the general black population and say their names, how many people would raise their hand and say, "Yeah, I know that person. I know their body of work." That's why it's important that we have these conferences and you take this information, this knowledge back home. You have to, so that we won't find any more Nolan Wells or Laquan McDonald's. I didn't want to bring a sour note, but I am the wolf, Felicia. I had to bring it home.
Yeah,
I'll
facts.
say this.
Facts.
I can say this. One of the challenges with doing what Brother Wolfman is talking about is that people don't want to hear it. See, and I like Tony Browder told me a couple of years ago. I happened to meet him, and I was sharing that same sentiment with him, and he said, "Look, man, you know, people will hear when they're ready to hear. You know, that's just how it is. You can't allow yourself to get frustrated because somebody don't want it. You can't be like them Christians who say, "Well, you going to hell then if you don't want to hear this." so we can't throw that back at them. But that is the one frustrating thing for me. As bad as I want to tell everybody, I want to
Tell them,
shout it from the mountaintops, but
tell them,
people don't want to
tell
hear
them,
it.
John.
You
Tell
know,
them. Listen, here's the
I
thing
do.
about it. I want to. Can I? I'm as the I think third oldest person on in this panel right now. I think I am. Um, One thing that I know is that by repetition over and over,
Yeah,
the way of white thinking was indoctrinated to us as black people.
absolutely.
All right, over and over daily, newspaper, radio, TV, billboards, everything, our food, our clothing, everything. And that was done for hundreds of years easily. Let's say maybe even thousands in certain places. What would happen if we were to say these truths that we have learned from our grandmasters like Dr. Levy, Dr. Clark, Dr. Ben? What if we spoke this every day, no matter where we were at? What do you think would happen? Think about it. You have to start here. That's why I wanted to put into the conference. This isn't a feel-good moment for me. This is for me looking at Raya Sekhmet and seeing the hope for my people in that young baby's eyes, and the intelligence and the beauty of the way she put her words together. I'm looking at generational greatness that we can give all our babies if only they knew. And that's it.
I read the first two chapters of her book yesterday, and I'm
We-
sitting. I was I was taking the book to my granddaughter. They had a pool party yesterday. I was taking the book to give to my granddaughter, but I said, "Let me read some of this on the way before I give it to her." And I'm sitting there reading this stuff, and I said, "Wait, no, there's no way she wrote that." I mean, it's so the visuals, the imagery that she paints with words. 9 years old, you got to be kidding me. I said, "No, she had to use AI or something." I don't know. It's just I don't know if you've read any of her book yet, but man, it's just totally blew me away. And I decided not to give it to my granddaughter just yet. I need to finish reading it myself because she got a glossary in the back of the book, of all the comedic words and so on and so. Man,
yes, yes. She put out a scholarly piece
yeah,
at
yeah,
9 years old that you can use as a teaching implement in a school. At least they should be reading it.
yeah. The
I mean,
educator, you need to get that her book in your kids' hands.
yes.
Yeah, no, 100%. And and that's the benefit of when we learn about who we are. Like when we start learning who you are, you just vibrate it. You can't even. It's beautiful. Um, well, listen, family, I just want to just thank you guys because you truly are the HAPI movement. Like you guys are the HAPI movement, and this it just makes us it's just it really it was heartwarming seeing everybody in person. And but I think one of my best memories besides hanging out with Robin Walker, because he is not like how he is on like how we see him on YouTube or whatever. He is so down to earth, he is so cool, just a cool spirit, just goes with the flow. I really enjoyed like hanging out with him and him telling us like these jokes and It's like, I didn't think he was like a jokester. He's like a jokester. We were just cracking up with this guy. But I think the beautiful thing about it is like seeing everybody just be one. Frankie Beverly Mays, I'm sorry, Frankie Beverly and the Mays. That we are one. Like that's exactly how it was. Two songs that kept playing in my mind. It was that song and Family Reunion by the OJs. Every time that I seen everybody, I was just like, God, this feels like family reunion. This is nice. So I just appreciate you guys. And we will listen. We got some stuff coming down the pike, so we can't wait to get up again. Anyone have any closing words?
I do. The way you talk about Dr. Clark, and his personality, and I have been talking about it all week, and I say how we as Black people are so brilliant, so smart, but we still are so down to earth and have our things that we do. And so, like the sayings that Dr. Clark was saying during his presentation, and I also have to give flowers to Dr. Ben, because I've been talking about you two all week and just your brilliance. But the hilarious thing to me was your statement. What the hell? Like he just kept. But it's the brilliance, but then it's the just we're so smooth and down to earth. And so I just appreciate you for all of that. So yeah. And I think that's who we are, and we're comfortable enough with each other to be who we are at all times. And that is what was just on display last weekend.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. I don't even try to be funny.
No.
It's just, I teach and that's what I do. But I will leave you all with one thing. At the end of every class I've ever taught, I always leave my students with this thing. I got a thing, I call them Levyisms because I invented them, and that's that what I teach you is not for today, it's for tomorrow. Because the things you don't understand today, you will understand tomorrow. That's my piece.
Yeah, very true. That's good. That's good. I know don't nobody want to follow Dr. Levy. I know. I know everybody
That's a
shaking
hard
their head.
pill.
I know we
That's a
should have
hard
waited.
pill.
Now, so look, you know what I'll do? I'll follow brother Dr. Ben Levy, but I'm gonna follow him not with my quotes. I'm gonna follow him with a couple of quotes that I picked up um, at the conference. All right. So I'm not even gonna get into the entire story with what brother Nuri Muhammad when he spoke about the ants. But what I will do is I'll tell the audience, like he was told, go study the ant and study their colonies and see how they work together. Okay, because that was one of his analogies to let us know what we need to do, and the resilience of the ant, the resilience and the sacrifice of the elders, the elder ants. All right, so that's one. Go study the ants, right? Another thing, Baina Bello at the Dusabo, she said, if we're learning and admiring the greatness of our ancestors, but didn't question and nourish the greatness in ourselves, then we don't need to know about who came before us. All right. And I might have paraphrased that because it's basically saying, we're learning about our ancestors and the greatness of our ancestors, but we have that greatness in us as well. We have their DNA in us. We're learning about them. So there's basically no excuse because we learned about them. All right. Dr. George Fraser, he says, who I am, why do I exist, and am I all that I am capable of doing? Right? He also says, we're all fortunate to die. That's a powerful phrase, that we're all fortunate to die, because that means we're living right now. That means we woke up today and we have another chance to make it better do it even greater, or to learn something and put that into action. He also talks about how we've overcome we overcame billions to one odds, and he's basically talking about being a sperm cell, right? Because that one sperm cell was strong enough to impregnate your mother's egg. So if you really, really look at that before we even get here in human form, that one sperm has to do its thing to get to that egg. So that means you here for a reason and you have a purpose. You may not know your purpose off the bat, but you can achieve that by just being right and exact. He also talks about he mentions that that's a singular event, that you are the singular event that happens, and no other human will be created like you. Okay, these are all powerful words. What I like about him is his simplicity, but it's so powerful. It's a simple things that he's telling us that we already know pretty much. Um, and he also says, when you're born, you're given time, and time is um, the number one currency is time. All right. So, brother Professor Kaba Kamene also talks about that as well. Talks about your time is currency, and don't waste his time. Um, Last but not least, he says, time is only currency. No, time is the currency that you will spend that you will never know the balance to. So that's another jewel right there that he's saying, that you have the time, but you just don't know how much time you have. Okay, you don't know the balance of your time, so use it wisely. Use it now in this moment. Um, he says, what you don't change, what you're not changing, you chose that. That's your choice. Okay, so I just want to leave y'all with those couple of jewels, and it's way more. I can get into Boyce. I can get into what Queen of Four has said to me personally, but we got to end the show. But take the things that you've learned, and like I always say, put them into action. Apply them.
Yeah, thank you, Hassan, for that. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, God, that's right. We had Dr. Boyce Watkins. He was laying it down. Him and Alicia, was candid about their relationship and how they came around and started making this money. Like it was, which I appreciate them. Because Alicia wasn't initially his wife wasn't part of this. She was part of our first one we had in Detroit, but I like the fact that, she was part of this one as well. But that Ann story and that Robin Walker saying, put some respect on it, on the name, that, and do you feel it? Like these were all like moments that were just so powerful. And
And,
I
and,
want
and, and
to
Felicia,
answer
look, I don't want to.
something. Oh, go ahead.
It's hard to give your thank yous to everybody, because sometimes you may forget, because it was so many great moments. But um, Dr. Abari Cartman was was priceless, in his speaking. He was priceless, giving us the psychological aspect of power and unity and what we need to do moving forward. He was major in this whole HAPI conference. And Brother Jabari, I'm gonna leave it with this. Brother Jabari is the truth. And I told him that at the end of on Saturday, that he's the truth, because for him to just jump in
Yeah.
and start hosting, like that's different. You know what I'm saying? And that's different. I'm not fronting on this or nothing, but he just jumped right in. He didn't have no prepared notes or anything like that, and he did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. So, Big ups to Brother Jabari.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was shaking in my boots. I was hoping and praying because I was like, Ken's not coming, Dr. Hare's not coming. That means it's gonna be either because Taki's not gonna do it. He gonna make either myself or Hassan do it. So we were just like, oh hell no. So we were so happy. Jabari was like just like butter. And also, family, John Henry Staples, he is in the house. He was another one like Talita was our core people in the very beginning that gave us seed money to even get this conference off the ground. Had it not been for these 5 cats, there would have been no Happy in the Shy. So we really, want to, to thank you guys again, because that was the beginning of what we witnessed 2 weekends ago. So thank you guys. And John Henry Staples, he's been with us since we met at HAPI Talks during COVID. And Taki has actually flown down to Florida to meet Mr. Staples. So that's cool. He's had eyes on him. I haven't had a chance to get eyes on Mr. Staples yet, but I'm gonna make sure that happens. And he's been around. He's in his 80s, and he's been around all the Dr. Clarks, everybody. He came up with them. Dr. J, everybody. He knows everyone. So we really appreciate him helping us out. Yeah, thank you. All right. I think that's it, family. Is this it? We good? We Gucci? As the young man says.
Until next time.
Say dua to the Happy team.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for making this dream come true from Chicago. Okay? Our ancestors, thank you. I'm going to leave you with something that impressed me. I would have loved to have seen Walter Williams on that stage. Recently became an ancestor. I met him through Brother Yoel, and it was a transformative meeting. I actually broke bread with him on his 90th solar return day. But know something, Black people, wherever you are, there's going to be people that come up to you and say things. Don't just dismiss them offhand. That's what I learned from ancestor Walter Williams. Listen before you just dismiss things. And that's also what HAPI is about. You got to open up and listen. The ancestors are blessing you. Thank you.
Go on and do it, John.
Yeah.
We must decide to realize that we're descendants of Africans on the rise again. Don't. Anyway.
That's what's up. Family, listen, peace and blessing.
Economics and politics are the foundation of human development.
While forming the world's earliest civilizations, Africans also laid the groundwork for the creation of economic systems.
By learning from our history, we gain the strength to empower the present and design the future. Presenting the premier forum for truth, culture, and change. HAPI Talks. Join us as we unlock the secrets to our success.